All right, welcome back to the Run.down post-game show here, sponsored by FanDuel, here on the Strickland Twitter, Strickland YouTube, and if you're listening to this today after Strickland Podcast Network, I am Sam. I'm joined by Tyrese. The Knicks win, snapping their 3-game losing streak and snapping the Bulls' undefeated 5-game winning streak, which was fake as hell, by the way. 128-116 here at the first game of this 7-game homestand at MSG. Things look great for this offense, especially when they're hitting threes. They hit, what was it? 20 out of 42, 47%. I mean, that's pretty much what a lot of us have envisioned for this Knicks team when things are all flowing. So it was great to see this team kind of get themselves in rhythm on not only the offensive side of the ball, but also the defensive side of the ball. But yeah, we will talk about this Bulls game, the other Bulls game, and the Bucks game. I think those were the last 3 games that we were supposed to talk about.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tyrese, your thoughts initially on this game here tonight?
I'm glad they were able to win because it would have like World War II in the timeline if they did not. Ultimately, I thought they played a really good offensive game. I feel like the offensive process has been really strong since the Bucks game, and they were able to really hit the shots that they needed to hit tonight. I thought it started with Cap. I thought Brunson had 19 points in the first quarter, I believe, and he was just frying the Bulls wing defenders. They couldn't stop him. So Brunson set the tone. I thought Cat had a really good. I thought Cat was able to get to the line a good bit. I thought he had a really good game passing. I thought the defense in the first quarter was shaky. I thought the defense for the rest of the game came out really well from Cat. Bridges was really steady, 10 points, 9 assists from him. I think he's really settled into this more like secondary playmaking role where he just gets to like essentially like make a lot of decisions coming off the elbow, coming off of ball screens and pin downs. I think he's really thrived in this role. And even though he's only taken 7 shots, like all 7 of those shots were good shots. And he's hyper efficient with his touches. Getting to the line again. I think this is the most he's gotten to the line since like the Brooklyn days, and that's including his time in Phoenix. So I think he's been really making a lot of the opportunities that he's getting on the ball. I thought OG was quiet, but I thought he just had a really good game. Like he's been really embracing taking these volume threes much more than I thought he would. I think he's easily over 11 threes for 100, and he's shooting probably 40% after tonight, which is a very elite mark. When you can shoot that many threes and be that efficient, and they're not just catch and shoot threes from the corner. He's doing some stuff off a baby movement. He's doing some stuff off the top of the key. He's just been really dynamic in getting his threes up, and he's been embracing the role really, really well. And obviously, Mitch didn't score, but Mitch had a lot of energy. I thought you really felt him in the second quarter when the Knicks started to pull away a little bit. I thought that stretch in the second quarter that he had kind of like helped the Knicks put the game away. I just think he gave them really good energy. And ultimately, I don't think you could talk about this game without talking about Josh Hart and Jordan Clarkson.
Vintage Josh Hart performance.
Yeah, I mean that's the Josh Hart game that makes everybody love Josh Hart, and the fact that it only happened in 26 minutes instead of like
39.
Yeah, it's like that's what you want Josh Hart to be like. Yeah, give us like good 26 to 28 minutes a night. Be productive in your minutes. He was willing to take threes. He only made 1 out of 4, but I mean, like you take that from Josh Hart. But ultimately speaking, like great touch inside the paint, great touch at the rim. Did a lot of the hustle stuff that everybody loves Josh Hart for, but it was a lot more controlled. The fact that he's playing 26 minutes is going to be really beneficial to him, I think, over the long run. And ultimately speaking, like everybody kind of had their moment tonight, which is good. I think the one thing I kind of want to point out is the fact that Yabusele only played 2 minutes.
He's fat.
Yeah,
he's fat.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure
no fatties allowed.
I think the last game too, he only played
3 minutes.
3. So like,
no tubbies allowed.
And Netanyahu is not making the impact I think a lot of us thought he would early in the season thus far. But who is making an impact is motherfucking JC, Lumpia, J.R. Smith. Shout out to my Filipino brother. And that man was cooking in that second quarter. He was getting busy. I know we're gonna wear the black jerseys in the homestand, and I'm very, very ready to see that. I'm trying to see Jordan Clarkson in the all black, and I will be there, TV on.
Lotion.
Jurgen, you're phone in one hand, Jurgen's in the other. It's gonna be candles lit. Candles lit.
R&B playing in the background.
Lights off. We playing Silk. Okay. It's gonna be nothing but Silk and D'Angelo. Rest in peace. Like, I'm gonna need some privacy. The door's gonna be closed. Nobody's gonna watch what's going on. As soon as JC hit that court, bro. Don't look at my Twitter.
Yo.
Don't look at my Twitter.
But nah, yeah. I mean, to your point, the bench, really productive today. What was it 46 points? Not something that we're used to seeing with this Knicks team, especially since they've been in this kind of contending era. The bench has kind of been one of their weaker spots. I mean, you can go back to the when our bench was probably comparable to this is back when we had like Quickly and Grimes and what you call it. And even when Dante was here, the bench was a little bit more formidable. The last like year and a half or so, it's kind of been diminished and we've been heavily reliant on starters. But it's good to see that the bench was able to produce. Shamit came in, hit some key threes, especially when we were pulling away in that in the fourth quarter, really extending the lead, especially when the Bulls were like trying to fight back a little bit. So Shamit was key there. McBride was able to hit some baskets. And like you said, Clarkson was able to do his best J.R. Smith impression. And that's what we really expect from him. And what comes with the J.R. Smith impressions is, of course, there are going to be some games where he doesn't look as good as this, as there were moments with J.R. Smith when he didn't look as sharp offensively. But you're just excited to see games like this because it shows you what the potential is down the line for this team. And, you know, hoping that they can continue to replicate these type of performances, especially against contenders. There is a game tomorrow, I believe, right? The next game tomorrow. And then they play Wednesday against. So tomorrow they play the Wizards. So, I mean, that should be, knock on wood, an easy game, hopefully.
Yep, and then we get the Julius Randle revenge game.
Yes, so, you know, hoping that the Knicks continue this offensive flow. I feel like them being at home will also be key in them starting to right the ship a little bit and start to gain some momentum, increase the cohesion on the offensive side of the ball and defensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, Wally made a point that he said, like, even when he was playing under Mike Brown, which, wow, that's a long time ago. It shows how long Mike Brown's actually been coaching in this league.
For a minute, he's been doing this.
Yeah, but Wally said when he was coached under Mike Brown, they went like 39-2 or something at home or something when they were with the Cavs. So I mean, this type of the way that they play offense, it's like you're bound to like go off at home, especially like everyone's touching the ball, everyone's getting in rhythm, everyone's getting shots. The home crowd is like cheering you on and stuff like that. You feel that energy. So I could definitely see the Knicks like really starting to get on a roll here with these home games here.
Yeah, I think the home games are going to be really good for this team. You know, like you said, just gotta get that energy, getting that momentum. I think a lot of the process has been really sound. I think a lot of the complaining on Twitter is unwarranted. I've seen a lot of the Knicks don't look as prepared, and the Knicks don't look as like the details aren't as there. And I'm like, look at this offense. This offense is nuts. Like, the amount of threes they've been able to generate, and people are like, oh, they're taking just threes early in the shot clock. Yeah, because they're open or wide open.
The Knicks have had really bad shooting luck to start the year in terms of like open shots, catch and shoot shots. I feel like this is like the highest percent. I think I saw a stat. I believe it was Schwinn that tweeted out the other day about like the percentage of Knicks catch and shoot shots as well as open shots that they've had has been like far greater than they've had over the last couple of years or so. And something that was interesting to me coming into this like home and home with the Bulls is that I saw on TikTok the other day, someone was pointing out like why the Bulls were so good to start the year, and it's because they had something that we had during our 2021 season, which was a lot of open three-point shooting luck. Their opponents were missing a lot of open threes. And that's the reason why the Bulls were winning a lot of these games. Because like if you looked at like some of their defensive coverages, like they are leaving shooters wide open. And one thing that was interesting to me heading into this home and home with the Bulls is that I felt like this was the perfect opportunity for the Knicks to like start to hit these shots, because if an opponent is going to really let you get some quality looks, and the Knicks have been getting quality looks nonetheless, but like I feel like against an opponent like this where the Bulls, like this should have been an opportunity where the Knicks should have probably took both of these games. But I'm glad that on the back half of this home and home that they were able to finally hit their threes, because the Bulls are just a team that's going to give you wide open threes, and we saw that in this game.
Yeah. I think the Bulls give you wide open threes, and also like the Knicks are just really good at being able to generate those open threes. I mean, we've seen it against a bunch of different defenses. We've seen it with a bunch of different shooters, and I feel like there's an emphasis on those threes up. And again, like the team has a bunch of good shooters, so I never understood why fans were apprehensive towards the Knicks taking threes at volume. Like the Knicks have a bunch of really good shooters. They should be doing what they've been doing so far with the offense. Like I want to see OG taking 7 threes a game. I want to see Brunson taking volume threes. Like he's that good of a shooter. He should be taking volume threes. I thought Cat probably got a little bit more threes up, but ultimately speaking, he got 8 free throws. So you know what? Scoring opportunities are scoring opportunities. I won't complain about that. And ultimately, guys like Shamit, Clarkson, those guys are going to be huge for like increasing the 3-point rate. Ideally, if Yabusele can get going a little bit, that's even somebody else who could take threes as well. So yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I mean, you're starting to see at least with it was interesting, like you mentioned Yabusele. Clarkson didn't get not Clarkson, Tyler Cole didn't get any minutes in the regular rotation today. So that was something interesting to keep an eye on. And we know that Mike Brown has kind of been a little bit more fluid with his rotations and who gets to play on certain nights and stuff like that. I mean, initially he's gone to an 11-man rotation to start the year, and it looks like he's whittling it down just based on like who's struggling, who doesn't really have it going, which is good to see, because like I mean, you do want to give guys a certain leash, but also if they're like being detrimental to the team's winning, then you're just like, all right, like you're done for tonight. And he still gives like at least Yabusele a chance to come into the game. One thing that I noticed is that when Yabusele came out, he was like speaking to Yabusele, I guess, about some like I want to say maybe a defensive coverage, and Yabusele was like, oh, like he realized what his mistake was, and then that was it. And that was it. But it's going to be interesting to see how this fluctuates. You know, we do have Mitch Robinson with the injury situation, so that's also a way that rotation minutes can change in that regard as well. So yeah, let's go back to the Bucks game, because that was the beginning of the turning point. I want to say on the timeline for a lot of Knicks fans. That's when things start to get a little weird. I mean, the Miami game was a little bit of the beginning of that, but the Bucks game was really like the one that was like, oh man, because like Cat struggled in that game. He seemed like he was pressing too much, especially in that third quarter where he was trying to get advantages on Kuzma and it just wasn't working. When I thought that really isn't his game, I guess you want to say. Like with Cat, you really want him more in like pick and pop situations rather than like trying to force his way through Kyle Kuzma. I felt like he was pressing in that game. a game that the Knicks actually looked really good in like that first half, especially the second quarter of that Bucks game.
Yeah.
But things came crashing down in that third quarter. The Knicks still kept it relatively close enough that they could have still won that game. But enough damage was done in that third quarter where they just couldn't come back.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the first quarter was the first half really was pretty solid. They started to lose it a little bit towards the end of the second quarter. And then that third quarter just came in and like Ryan Rollins just decided to have Magnet Ball. And maybe it isn't even Magnet Ball because then he's decided to put B2A on the Warriors. But yeah, I think that team just got really frustrated with that was on Tuesday, right? Yeah.
Yes, that was the Peacock
yeah.
not the Peacock game, the NBC game.
Yeah, like that's when Shamit started as well. Okay, starting to remember it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I think for me, it was just like that second quarter was so rough in terms of like losing the momentum, and then like by the third quarter, they just completely lost it. I thought Cat really struggled, just like getting anything going. He went 2 for 12 that game.
Hart looked bad in that game too, as well.
Yeah, I think the entire bench, aside from like Clarkson, just looked super rough and overwhelmed. They also didn't have Yabusele that game, which has been interesting. I think like since Yabusele was out with that injury, I think he's been he hasn't. Yeah, since that injury, he's only played 5 minutes, so that's pretty interesting. I wonder if that's injury related, but
could be injury related, could be conditioning related.
Could be. I mean, he's definitely a little chunky right now, but no. I think people were just like, oh, they're taking too many threes again, but like they went 13 for 40, wasn't that bad. I think they lost it. Like the final score looks a lot worse than it was. I think that game was pretty close until like right at the end. I think for me it was like
McCall and McCall had a really good game that game as well. 24, 11, 6.
Yep.
And McCall to start this season, I will say, has looked really, really good. Looks more and more like the player that we anticipated that we were getting from Brooklyn with those 5 picks. And I will say this Mike Brown offense is way more suited to get the most out of him than we were ever going to see in the Thibs system. Because like even as you look at like a lot of these box scores with McCall, you're seeing like he is the guy that is like has like either like the first or the second most or third most assists on the team for a night. Like he is really being able to be that playmaker that we thought that he could be next to Brunson. So that's been very encouraging to see to start this year. You're just hoping that he continues to play out like this.
Yeah, I thought McHale was great that game. I thought his energy was really good. I thought his passing was really sound. I think ultimately, again, like we said before, this offense really unlocks a lot of the characteristics about him that make him potent. He had a drive in like the first quarter, and I was like, when's the last time you see Mikal Bridges take a drive and get fouled at a drive and end up getting free throws? Like, I really do think that like he had a lot more juice to drive than I think he was shooting last year. And I think the fact that he's been on the move a lot more, just being more involved with the offense, getting those touches has been really beneficial to him. And I thought we really saw it that game. I also want to give a shout out to Shamit. I thought Shamit played really well that game. I think Shamit is a guy, like, I think he can come in, and if you need him to play like 25 minutes on a random Tuesday, he can do that, and he can give you a good bit of juice offensively. Again, he's just a really good shooter. He tries defensively. And ultimately speaking, I thought he had really positive moments for this team. And I think it was nice to see him get the start. I think he deserves the start. I like the fact that Brown went to him over Huck 40. I think Brown really wanted to kind of juice the offense, which was nice.
Yeah, that's been the encouraging thing about Brown. He seems like he's like really trying to like match up against teams specifically.
Yes.
And that's something that we wanted Tibbs to do so much last year, and he just didn't do it because he is who he is, and he does things the way he wants to do things. But yeah, no, it's been encouraging to see like Mike Brown just switching things based on matchups, and what he wants to get out of it, what he wants to do against specific teams.
Yeah, I really do like the fact that he basically was like, well, the Bucks aren't that big, so we can get away with shooting, getting away with starting something like Shamit, and trying to really like get the threes up and everything. And it worked for that first quarter and like 3/4 of the second.
And in the second quarter, I mean, it worked too. I mean, they scored like what 40? They scored 45 in the second quarter of that game.
Yep.
So they really had it going. It's that third quarter where it was really bad. The Bucks outscored us 35-20, and the Knicks kind of looked stagnant offensively. And that's something that you kind of seen be a lot better, especially today. You saw a lot of movement from the Knicks today, offensively, and a lot of guys touching it, a lot of guys being able to get assists. I mean, when you look at today's box score, Mikal led the team with 9 assists. Carl had 5, OG had 4, Josh had 3, Jalen had 3, McBride had 3 assists, and Clarkson also had 2 assists as well. So like a lot of guys touching the ball, a lot of movement, and it kept the Bulls active. And like you said, the Knicks have been able to do a good job of generating open threes, and that's because of all the movement that we've been seeing.
Yep. Yeah, man. Like I just you can't sell me on this offense not being something that's incredibly potent for this team. I think again the process is there, and ultimately I think the Knicks are going to be very productive in this offense. I think, especially the core four, if you want to call them that. I expect them to have very good and potent offensive seasons. Again, I think you're already seeing it with OG. Like OG's averaging on the season, I think around like 17. I think him and Bridges are probably like around like the same kind of value, but also I'm pretty sure they're playing like a little less minutes overall. And OG has like been kind of weird from the line thus far. But regardless, like the impact is there. I think the process is there. And ultimately speaking, like these guys are already at or near their efficiency from last season, aside from Cat. And the fact that we're getting like more free throw attempts, we're seeing more threes go up. Like there's a lot of the runway is there for this team to be very productive in those minutes.
Yeah, no, for sure. Let's get to the comments here. Let's see. John Lewis says, with tonight's win, we won't have to hear from the Thibs fan, thankfully. Yeah, just for a day. Just for a day. Just for a day. Just wait for the Knicks to do something else stupid or like lose to the Wizards tomorrow.
If they lose the fucking Timberwolves, I think there are going to be some people on Knicks Twitter.
If they lose to the Timberwolves, it's going to be so annoying because like you're going to have people talking about Thibs. You're going to have people talking about Randall. You have people talking about DiVincenzo. It's going to be like that is like the one. That is the one game I need the Knicks to just like not like lose right now. Like I don't even care if they lose tomorrow. Like just do not lose on Wednesday to the Timberwolves because we will hear agendas galore. I just can't take it. It's too early in the season for this bullshit.
I need them to play like the best basketball they play of the season against the Timberwolves. Just please don't put me in a situation where I have to like be fighting for my life. But for me, it's like, yeah, I think the way people just talk about like the Tibbs tenure is so weird to me, and they're making it seem like, oh, Tibbs was this great coach and steady, and it's like, no.
I don't like the rewriting of history because like the Knicks have always started off seasons so slow. That's like been a main talking point that we've always discussed when talking about the Knicks. Like we've always talked about like, oh, they start every season so slow. Like that was a common thing under Thibs. It was like, oh, we're starting the season slow again. Like here we go again. Like it was just expected. And like with the Knicks adapting a new system, with all those players that have been used to playing under Thibs, of course there's going to be some struggles and there's going to be some mishaps and whatnot. And we also haven't been the healthiest to start the year either, like most teams in the NBA. So like it's even harder to adapt a new system when you're also dealing with players being in and out of the lineups. Like the Knicks, like today, Mike Breen mentioned that today was the first time that the Knicks have played a starting lineup 2 games in a row. Like they've been playing a different starting lineup almost every single game. So like there's going to be some continuity that needs to be built through this new system. And that's what we're seeing. And also Mike Brown has also been kind of experimenting as well, that like a lot of people have been wanting this team to do under Thibs. Like I just don't get it. Like people have been asking for things, and then when they finally get it, or like there's something that's going on, it's like they just don't know how to respond to it.
Yeah, like the thing with Thibs was like what 2021, his first season with the team. Like they stunk until they got Derrick Rose, and they were below 500 when they got Derrick Rose. 21-22, they stunk the entire season, aside from like a stretch where they started off like 5-1 or whatever. And then the rest of the season, like they collapsed. 22-23, we know 2022-23 they stunk because Tibbs was about to be fired until they won that game against Cleveland. And they were below 500.
He was forced to change the rotation.
Yeah, and they were below 500 at the time. They stunk. And that was the day before where like Dallas came in and kicked their asses. And then 23-24, they stunk again, and they were like 500 until the OG trade. And then they took off, and then they were the best team in January. We know how all that happens and everything like that. But yeah, as soon as Mitchell Robinson went down 23-24, they stunk. They like could not win a game. They had the worst defense in the league. They were below 500. OG trade bailed them out. And then 24-25, yeah, they started the season off well. They were 5-6 after 11 games last season. They ended they had like a really soft November and December, and they won those games. And then after December, January 1st, they were like barely above 500. And we know what happened with the offense and everything like that. So this idea that like Tom Thibodeau was the steady presence, it was usually like no. Tibbs like took the first 2 months of the season digging in his ass, and then like Leon Rose made a trade that basically got rid of like all the bad players while making Tibbs play all the good players more minutes that he was supposed to be doing the entire time. And then the Knicks took off, and it's like, oh yeah, well the Knicks are really good when it comes around to March and April, and it's like, yeah, because they didn't play any bad players because Rose traded them all. So the reshaping of the Tibbs tenure to me is just like very strange, because if you watch the team the last 5 years, like the major inflection points in this team came because like Tom Thibodeau wasn't holding up the end of the deal, especially when it came to like utilizing the roster.
Yeah, no, I just don't get it. Let's see what other comments we have here. Jordan Bub says if the Knicks won against Miami and the Bucks and still lost against the Bulls, they would be 5-1. Do you think a majority of Thibs defenders and negative Knicks fans have a leg or point to stand on still? I don't. No, I don't think they do. Again, a lot of what the Knicks, especially in the Miami game, Miami and Bucks games were both games that like Cat really struggled, and the Knicks just didn't hit a lot of threes. And of course, if that happens, it's going to be hard to win games, especially early in the season. So, I mean, I think you saw tonight a more optimized version of the whole team. And yeah.
Yeah. If they're 5-1, I don't think anybody's talking about Tibbs right now. If they were 5-1, they'd be if they were 5-1, they'd be number one in the conference. And I don't think anybody would be talking about Tibbs at all.
Yeah, no. Tibbs is always going to become a point of deflection for fans, because a lot of people feel like, he was what's best for this team. So, yeah.
I think people feel like that. Then also, like, I think the way people talk about Tibbs, it's like I don't really think you watched the team aside from like in the playoffs, and then even still in the playoffs, like they weren't good in the playoffs. I hear like a lot of the narrative talking about like preparation for the Knicks and how the Knicks were so prepared going into every game, and it's like,
No, they were not.
No, they were not. They were wildly inconsistent. That was kind of been the hallmark of the Knicks, especially last season, where it's like, oh yeah, like you can be beating up against like for example, you can beat the Hornets, but you wouldn't be able to like beat the Lakers. Like last season, we lost both games to the Warriors, we lost both games to the Clippers, we lost both games to the Lakers, we lost both games to the Thunder.
We lost every game against the Celtics, Cavs, and Thunder.
The Thunder. We also had to we were in a dogfight against the Blazers. We lost the game to the Spurs.
We struggled against the Pistons in the regular season. Like, do people forget any of this?
Yeah, and then we went to 6 against the Pistons. The Pistons suck. Like what are we doing?
I don't think. I think people have either selective memory about certain things that happened during Thibs' era, or just like think everyone else is stupid.
Yeah, because I don't think your takeaway from like last season should be like how prepared the Knicks were to win basketball games, especially when Tom Thibodeau was actively trying to figure out his rotations in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Dude magically was like, you know what? I'm gonna play DeLon Wright and Landry Shamet minutes, and wow, they were productive. Let me try that again.
Yeah, and then it's like it took him 90 games to realize the campaign didn't have it. But then it was also like when somebody would get hurt, he would just go, okay, you know what? Everybody else is getting 3 extra minutes. Hey, yay!
Oh my gosh, people, stop trying to gaslight us. Stop trying to gaslight us, people.
Like, I watched this team.
Mike Brown tonight, closer to a 48-minute game. I still think our ceiling's a lot higher than you can, but you can see the potential. Definitely. I mean, I thought they kind of let up their foot off the gas, especially a little bit in the fourth quarter. He says more than capable playing fast, defensive player of the game, OG. So we'll probably be seeing OG with the hard hat, vest, and Timbs once again.
I can't wait, bro.
He also says Jalen, unbelievable. Cat, 20 on 11 shots, 15 rebounds. McCall, 9 assists. Josh, 9 rebounds. Good team win.
Yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of good to take out of this win. I think the way he said Jalen unbelievable, like that's the way I've been looking at Jalen Brunson sometimes, man.
That's the way all of us have been talking about Jalen Brunson.
That boy is hooping. Like it's just an easy 30 ball every night, man. Like I don't know how you can watch this offense and look at his shot quality.
He's getting so much easier shots now. It's unbelievable.
Like he's taking 22 shots, but you're also like, it doesn't feel hard. That's the thing. It just kind of feels like, okay, well, I have the ability to take a shot. I'm gonna go take a shot. Like
he's getting a lot of transition baskets. He's getting open catch and shoot threes. Like it's way easier on him now than it was last year, where he had to be like a lot of the buckets were so tough. And yeah, he can make them, but it's like, why make it so hard for your best player to score?
Yep. Like it just looks so much easier for him to generate offense, and I'm pretty sure he got like a couple of pretty sure he had like a couple catch and shoot opportunities as well tonight, like where he just got the ability to just like walk into it. You know, I believe he had 1, 2, 3, 4. He might have had 4 or 5 like 3-point opportunity, like just 3-point on can shoot threes, and that's what you want to see. Like, and honestly, I'm probably underselling it because like some of these shots are classified as like pull up opportunities, but it's also like he got it off the catch and like walked into it, and that's what you want him to see him doing. So like, I'm glad he's taking the shots. Like last season when he would take 22 shots, it's like he had to work so hard for 22 shots. the fact that he's taking 22 shots, but he doesn't have to work hard for it, and they're just coming within the flow of the offense, is so good for long-term success. It doesn't feel like he's trying to do too much. You're not overexerting him. I think he only played 34 minutes as well. So it's like those 34 minutes that he was playing last season were such a grind.
32 minutes tonight.
Oh, he only played 32 minutes tonight. So like, I also think you've like seen it defensively as well. Like he's been getting in passing lanes more often.
2 steals tonight.
Yep. Like I think he's just more active with the ball in his hands. And I think the fact that the shots are just going up instead of him like second guessing and hesitating has been really productive in terms of generating that good shot quality. And he missed a couple bunnies too. It could have been 40 tonight.
Honestly. Jordan Bub here says from Mark Weber, most games of 20-plus points, 15 rebounds, 5 assists, 2+ blocks for the Knicks. Bob McAdoo with 5, Patrick Ewing with 3, Cat with 3, and David Lee with 2.
You know who isn't on that list? Julius Randle.
Wow, okay. Also from Mark Weber, last games where Knicks went perfect at the line with a minimum 22 attempts. Today against the Bulls, last year against the Thunder. Interesting.
Yeah.
04-05 versus the Wizards, 99-2000 versus the Kings, and 1958-59 versus the Warriors. Good to see the Knicks hitting their free throws because that has been a detriment of theirs over the years.
Especially for someone like Brunson. Like Brunson bricked a couple yesterday. Not yesterday, Friday, and that was annoying. But yeah, man, like just the amount of catch and shoot threes he's just been able to generate, and the amount of shots he's been able to take, and the efficiency that the Knicks offense can really generate when it's clicking, like has just been so potent.
Some refreshing accountability here from Mike Brown from Chris Persianen here. He says Mike Brown takes blame for recent lack of offensive rhythm. Says he was all over the map with the substitutions.
That's crazy.
You know who wouldn't have said that?
Thompson. Like the I think it's refreshing, honestly. Like I think
it's super refreshing.
He yaps, but he also like yaps intentionally. You know, compared to fucking Tibbs, who would just be like
saying fucking buzzwords and like,
gotta play harder, gotta play better.
The game will tell you what to do. Like, bro, shut up. Take accountability. Say you was sucking with those fucking substitutions.
Yeah, and then like whenever he get pressed, he'd be like, well, like this is how it's supposed to go, and like
he's gonna be like, oh, I really liked what I saw from such and such in these minutes. It's like, no, you didn't, liar. But no, that is definitely refreshing accountability because a lot of us have been saying, like, we think some of these substitutions look bad, and this could have been a result from him just experimenting. This could have been a result. I think honestly, it was probably a result of him just experimenting, see which lineups are working, which lineups do not. So yeah, I mean, I think it's good to hear him say, all right, like, yeah, this was bad, and you're starting to see him cut back minutes on certain players as they're not really, showing him what he wants them to show him on the court. Kolek didn't play today. He probably saw something in that last Bulls game that he was like, all right, I don't need to see him play against the Bulls per se. Maybe Tyler Kolek doesn't work for this matchup, so maybe I'll play Tyler Kolek tomorrow against the Wizards. Who knows? Yabusele, his minutes have been cut down. He hasn't really been showing us much, even when he was playing before his injury. Mike Brown's probably like, you know what? I don't need to see any more from you. I'm good. So, like, stuff like that.
Yeah, like, I'd rather him experiment now. Like, I think he kind of read the pulse where it's like, hey, we've lost 3 straight. Like, let's really try to get this one if we can. And then, like, on a back-to-back, I do think that he's going to be like, okay, let's try to get more guys involved so that way we can, have a little bit more rest available to us. But, yeah, it really is just refreshing to see somebody who coaches the Knicks just be open and honest about it. Like, hey, like, I'm human and, I can make mistakes as much as the players can. And you never got that with the old coach. You never did. It would just, got to do this, got to do that. And, yeah, no, I think Mike Brown I think very early he's hit the pulse on, like, the media and trying to, like, kind of bridge that gap.
Definitely. Let's see what else we got here. Mike Brown from Jordy Brub says, talks about the Knicks building chemistry offensively and Mikal Bridges being ahead of the curve in terms of making reads. This is going to be a process. We're still not where we need to be offensively, but guys are starting to understand how to space the floor. Yeah, I think we kind of also just been talking about how Mikal has looked super comfortable in this system, and we totally understand why he was, taking those shots all season, especially when they asked him about how he felt about Mike Brown and this new system. Also, from Chris Purser, he says Mike Brown notes that Mike Bridges is a little ahead of the curve with regard to adapting the new system because he was in the gym all summer with the team's younger players. So that is also a credit to Mikal Bridges.
Yeah, man. I just cannot talk highly enough about Mikal to start the season, man. Like, that dude I think he was just really not a fan of what the fuck Everett Pitch was doing last season. And despite that, I mean, he showed up every game.
A lot of us weren't. It wasn't just him.
I know, but I'm just like, that he showed up. He did what he needed to do. Like, the fact that he knew that he was going to be playing 38 minutes a game, which, again, is insane. It's insane. He was going to play 38 minutes, like 37 minutes a game. Hart was going to play 38. And, like, you got to show up for 82 games of that. Insanity. So, it's good to see him kind of get a little bit of downturn. I know he's only played 37 tonight, but I think he only played 32 tonight, right? Yeah, only 32. So, yeah, man, I just think he's in a better spot in terms of, like, how he feels regarding the team and how he feels regarding the offense as well.
Jordan Webb says this is the first time in franchise history the Knicks made 20 plus threes and shot 100% from the free throw line in the same game.
Yes, sir.
Hashtag offense.
We cooking. We hooping.
Mike Brown talks about managing his bench and making his players feel comfortable. I have to do a better job, and I thought I did tonight, of trying to have a rotation and stick with it while playing 9.5, 10 guys. So I think he's still trying to find that balance, and I think it will fluctuate from game to game and based on matchups so far, based on what we've seen.
Yep. Yeah, like sometimes he's gonna play like 9, sometimes he's gonna play 11, sometimes he'll figure out 10. Like, I really do think he kind of just like reads the game state, tries to see whatever he could apply, tries to buy guys minutes whenever he can. And this was a good game in order to kind of just like get some momentum, get a win underneath our bucket, and hopefully be able to push on to the next game.
Yeah, and Knicks undefeated at home so far. Hopefully, can keep that going as well.
I need the Garden to be Eden yet again. We need that. Try to go like 41. Try to go 40-1 on some like San Antonio Spurs shit.
Someone says here, the Knicks need to be investigated for gambling. I don't think so.
Aside from Josh Hart.
He says Mitchell Robinson ended the first quarter with 4 rebounds, second half had 0 rebounds with a fake injury. Well, it wasn't a fake injury. If anyone knows better, it's Knicks fans that Mitch Robinson's injuries are nowhere near fake.
So he started limping, and I was like, yep. I was like,
dog, he rolls his ankle almost every single time he goes up for a rebound. It's crazy.
I was sweating. I was like, come on, bro. 2 games?
And I think the Knicks are just being cautious. I'm sorry that you bet on Mitch Robinson. Gambling advice here. Do not bet on Mitch Robinson. Sponsored by FanDuel. Do not bet on Mitch Robinson anything ever until like the playoffs. Literally, the Knicks are going to have him in bubble wrap for the whole season. They know what they have in him. They know when his value is at its peak. They do not care about regular season matchups right now because they know they can get away with playing either Cat or Josh Hart. So that way, they can get away with playing those guys. So I'm sorry that you lost some money betting on Mitchell Robinson. Word of advice for the future: no matter what the Knicks say, whether they say there's a minutes limit on him or not, do not play Mitchell Robinson anything. Save your money. Bet on anyone else because Mitchell Robinson will not play as much as you think he will.
Okay, like the safe bets right now, Jalen Brunson, always a good safe bet. That's kind of it.
Mikal Bridges' assist so far.
Okay, assist. Yeah,
assist so far is pretty good. OG for like 2 or 3 threes a game. That's pretty solid. Like that's
he's gonna get them up, so that's fine.
He's gonna get them up. That there's volume in that play, and for the most part, I mean, Cat rebounds over. Like that's solid. That's pretty much it right now so far. Yeah. The Knicks are still installing a new system, so that's why I've kind of like stayed away from betting Knicks games. Like I only bet them live, and I almost hit something crazy today actually on them live because I feel like that's a better chance to get a better read on the game. But yeah, the Knicks are one of those teams that you kind of want to avoid right now just because like they're installing this new system. There's a lot of things that are fluctuating, and players like Mitch Robinson and Josh Hart are both dealing with injuries, and their minutes could be up in the air. So yeah, advice for you, Jarnell, and anyone else betting.
The only risky bet I would probably do, like if there's even a prop available, is like Landry Shamet over on threes, and that's like if you're just feeling spicy and got like $1 that you want to try to turn into like 150. Otherwise, don't bet on the Knicks right now. Save your money.
Yeah. Let's see here. Tay212 says, I just want people to have this conversation after 20-25 games when there's more tape. Talk about how Joe Dumars / Troy Weaver are tanking a franchise.
Oh, no.
I think that's an inside job from the league. That's
What were they thinking? That's what I want to know. Because this isn't like, the Pelicans were really good and they could afford to do that. Everybody in real time was like, yeah, this is a really dumb trade. Like, in real time, everybody went, this is a really stupid trade. And now they're 0-5. But it's also like
0-6. They got smoked by the Thunder today, of course.
And it's like, we knew that was going to happen. We knew it was going to happen. So why would you do that? I mean, I guarantee you when, like, that trade came through and the Hawks were like, what? You for real? You shitting me? And they're like, oh, no, yeah, we're going to trade our 2026 unprotected first-round pick.
That also isn't, like, that's the worst move that the Pelicans did, but, like, they also gave Pacers back their first-round pick last year in the finals.
The thing is that I'm not mad. I'm less mad about that given the fact that
but I'm less mad about that too, but like the fact that they did that on top of that, it's like wow.
Yeah, they don't have any picks. I'm pretty sure they don't have any picks in this draft.
No,
yeah, they don't.
They don't.
Like, what were you doing?
So you're bad, the Pacers are bad, and you gave the Pacers back their pick so that they get to keep their pick in a loaded draft in a year that they're tanking when you could have had that pick. Granted, you didn't know that Tyrese Halliburton was going to snap his Achilles, but like, you never know. Like, oh my God, just giving up first-round picks for the fucking fun of it.
For Derek Queen, and he's hurt.
I'm telling you, they're going to fold that franchise, and a new franchise is going to pop up in Vegas with.
They're going to be they're going to be the Vegas franchise. I guarantee you, they're going to be the Vegas franchise because. Nobody cares about New Orleans as a market. I'm sorry. Like LSU's over there. The Saints already.
That's a football state.
Yep.
You're not really making money moves with basketball over there. And
plus, like Gail Benson is like her own kind of thing.
Yeah, no.
I wouldn't be surprised if they just like end up making that the Vegas team.
That is definitely probably what's going to happen. Well, enough loser talk because we're actually a good team. We don't have to talk about bad teams like that anymore, thankfully. Oof. Jordan Bub says here, this is a quote from Josh Hart. My nerve hasn't fully gotten back to what it was before. There's a little bit of tingling, a little bit of numbness in part of my hand. Hopefully at some point that nerve will get back. hopefully sooner rather than later. Right now, it's a process. Josh Hart, apparently news broke during the game, at least, that like he also has nerve damage in his hand, the same hand that he has the giant finger on. So that has been fun. It said also in the article that his hand can get numb and lose feeling during everyday tasks and activities. So yeah, that's definitely fun for someone that is a big part of our rotation. I tweeted at the moment, and I still feel that way even after seeing him have a good game. He probably should have got the surgery. I mean, what was the recovery time going to be? What, like 3-4 months or something? I feel like as long as Josh Hart is fully healthy and productive by playoff time, that's all that matters with this team. Like after seeing the run that this team went on last year, I just care about getting to the playoffs healthy. And like if Josh Hart had an opportunity to get the surgery earlier and miss a couple months of the regular season, but still be back in time to be healthy for the playoffs, then I would have wanted that to happen.
Yeah. It would have been nice for him to have surgery. However, I think that's what you love about Josh Hart as much as what you hate about him is that he plays really hard and he's going to do what he needs to do for the team. I do wonder if the Knicks kind of had a little bit more depth that it was reliable. Maybe he would have gotten the surgery. Like maybe if someone like Dottie or DOR was able to step up, maybe you could have been like, you know what, then you could have the surgery, but you kind of don't really know what you have in terms of like those kind of depth pieces yet, which is something in and of itself. But ultimately speaking, yeah, I would have liked to. I would have liked for him to get surgery. He's not going to. I don't think he's going to at this point. Season already started. He'll do it next season.
Hopefully, it's not too much of a detriment for him for the rest of this season and the postseason.
Yep.
Tay212 says he's glad that Mike Brown had said that about his substitutions because he feels like he was just being subbing to sub. He just grab a player and yell, "Show me something" every 90 seconds. Yeah, no, it definitely is good to see Mike Brown be accountable in places that Dibs was not. So
yeah, see how nice it is that a black man can really step up and take charge, but the white man is never going to be able to admit the faults that he has. You know, I feel like the next coaching situation is a larger conversation on racism in America and how black men have to work 3 times as hard to get the same benefits and trust and loyalty that white men get. But you know what? That's just me doing a dissertation on racial tensions in America. I think we as individuals, we as people should be more receptive to the struggles and the plight of the black man. But that's just me. That's just
word. Vivek says here, per the Discord, Prez mentioned how Cat started adding a little bit of variety to his drives to the rim in the second half. Felt good not spamming HB dive every single time. Also, it's like teams are scouting for Cat. They know what he's going to do already. They know what he's going to do, and he keeps spamming those moves. It turns into offensive fouls. It turns into turnovers. He's gotta add the variety. And I feel like the Knicks just also have to limit opportunities for him to drive. Like, make sure that he is not in those situations. I know they want all their players to kind of like drive and spray, but like I feel like the less of that for Cat, the better. Just because it like you kind of want to limit creating opportunities for players to do things that are to their detriment.
Yeah. I do like the fact that like Cat's been able to get drives like from the baseline. He's been able to get drives like coming off like 45 cuts. He's been having the straightaway drive. Like he's had delayed drives. It's been really good. Being able to get him in different spots, seeing what's more productive, what's not. And that's why his free throw rate has been up so high. He's at 7 free throws a game to start the early season. I think his career high previously on free throws was around 6. So I think you're really seeing him be able to kind of benefit from that. Sorry, no, I'm tripping. His career high in free throws was 9 in 21-22. But yeah, even with the Knicks, he only took sorry, no, I'm tripping. I read the wrong shit. Anyway, 29-20 was 6.5 for free throws. Last season, he only took 5.7. The fact he's at 7.2, and I think for now he's at 7.5 to start the season, like him getting to the line is huge. Him being able to kind of get those calls is really good. And if you diversify the drives and you take contact on those, then like it's easier to call it from refs. So
Yeah. Oh, we got some quotes here from Mike Brown on Yabusele. Mike Brown on Gershon Yabusele playing 5 minutes total last 2 games. He says it's me. I could probably play 10, but it's going to be more 9.5. So somebody's going to have to give going to have the 0.5 give us whatever he can give us. Nothing he did. My call. Gershon's played well. Got to keep himself ready. Liar.
he's fat.
Liar. He's chunky. He's chunky and jiggling all over the place.
Okay, listen here. GOP Yabusele needs to get a little bit of that little Ozempic in the system. He'd be all right, but
he's got to hit threes, man. Hit threes and just like not be a total sieve on defense.
The thing is that he can't even shoot. He can't even see when he shoots because all that fucking arm fat is in his way. So like, my boy is struggling right now. That's why he's the 0.5. And the thing is, nobody else is going to be the 0.5. Like, so I know it's bull. Like, nobody else is going to be the 0.5. Like, who else are going to be the 0.5? Like, it won't be hard. I guarantee you it won't be hard.
No, it'll never be.
Not going to be Deuce. It better not be fucking Clarkson. I pay to watch that fucking man. And all right, you think I'm doing this shit for free? No. I want JC to take the fucking court, and obviously, like, it has to be Yabusele or like Hakporti or any one of them dudes. So, for now, like, Yabusele is gonna be the 0.5 dude. Until at least he can like shoot some shots, and then they'll probably just like try to find the minutes wherever he can. But
Jordan Bubby here. Karl-Anthony Towns offers his thoughts on the thrilling World Series. Shout out to the MLB writers, man. They made a hell of a script for this World Series. Had everything you could imagine. Baseball's in a good spot. I thought this was Hitler versus Stalin in the World Series.
What do y'all got against the Blue? Oh, it's because they knocked y'all out, right?
There are division rivals.
Oh, I was like, bro, it's the Blue Jays. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, there are division rivals.
Y'all here tripping over the Blue Jays.
Freaking Vladdy wants to fucking troll every time he plays us. So
it's Vladdy.
Enjoy them tears, fatty. Yeah, fucking fat Dominican. yeah. Enjoy them tears.
God damn.
But anyways, that game was absolutely crazy. I didn't watch most of the series just because like NBA is back and I had money to spend on NBA betting and I couldn't afford to pay attention to baseball, a sport that doesn't really make me much money anyways. But anyways, nonetheless, I thought that game was crazy. That was one of the craziest game 7s I think I've seen in any sport. So yeah.
Like, bro, I don't even root for anybody in that game and I was fucking sweating. Like, a game 7 that goes to extras and then gets tied up in the 9th. To give up a home run for your closer goes up a home run to the 9 hitter. I would have been sick.
Bro, I would have jumped out of my roof jumped out of my
window. And then in the bottom of the 9th, you had like if he just run IKF is a terrorist. You can't tell me IKF isn't a terrorist.
Oh, he was on the Yankees. I know very well how much of a terrorist IKF is.
Yes. And I'm like, I don't watch the Yankees much. Just because it's like corporate America, and I don't fuck with corporate America, even though I am corporate America. But like, when I would watch the Yankees, IKF would piss me off, and I'm like, I don't even root for this dude. Why are you pissing me off? Like, the fact that he didn't
slide with his hands.
Just slide with your hands or run through. You slid with your foot. Why are you sliding with your foot? That's the worst slide to do. And then the jump was horrible. That's the
football slide.
And I'm just like, the jump was horrible. Everything in that situation, when you had a chance to win a championship, was off. I legitimately would have made him swim back. Like, nah, you get to live him back. Like, deport him. Because what do you mean you're gonna slide with your feet? But no, that game was fire. Yamamoto is the best pitcher in the sport, in my opinion. The fact that he leveraged all the New York teams from the Dodgers hurts me every day. It's cool though. The
Dodgers are basically the closest thing to Team Japan, so like I feel like every Japanese player is just gonna want to go there at this point. So
yeah, Sasaki a hoe, Otani a hoe, Freddie Freeman a big ass. So I don't care if he was ass in this World Series. I still hate Freddie Freeman with all my heart. Lame ass, brave ass nigga. Anyway,
Jordan Bubb brings up Jalen Brunson talks about the Knicks mentality tonight and their strong start to the game. Happy with the way we started tonight. We just got to continue to build off of it. Jalen Brunson also just like has been coming out on a mission a lot of these games. I know we all kind of joke about him struggling to start seasons, and you know that has been the case in years past. But like this has been one of the strongest starts to a season I've seen him. This is the strongest start to a season I've seen him have. I mean, he's averaging like what 31 to start the year. Like it's crazy.
31 and 60 true shooting. Like he's legitimately playing at a first team All NBA level right now. I think there's a chance he might end up getting it, especially if we keep the course with the way the season's going so far. But he's been playing incredibly. He's been on a mission, man. Like it's just been metronomic from him. Just every time he gets an opportunity to show out, he's doing so. And the three ball isn't where I think a lot of us think it should be, but it's still like potent and prevalent. I think in many ways he's kind of like filling that share role for the Knicks, where like he's just getting the shots up. But I think the Knicks have more talent offensively overall to kind of like win in the non-Brunson minutes. But
he's shooting 33%, but he's taking 8.5 per game so far,
which is significant. Like it was significantly a career high. So
yeah, no, I mean his previous career high was during the 23-24 season where he took 6.8 3-pointers a game and shot 40% on those. So I mean, if he continues this volume but increases the efficiency like we've seen him do in years past, I mean, he has shot like above 38% for like the last like 3 years per se. So yeah. I mean, he's the efficiency will rebound back up. You're just hoping that he keeps up the volume as well, because that makes this offense that much more dangerous.
Yep.
Mike Brown says that for Josh Hart playing through his nerve injury, he says news to me. Casey Smith, the VP, the Knicks VP of Sports Medicine, is handling the best he can, and Josh too. He had 14-9, so can't wait till he's fully healthy. Look out, doing a heck of a job playing catch up for us.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's been inconsistent, but I think he's starting to get there, which is good.
And Kevin Pierre here, he says we need more pick and pops. Brunson did a behind the back pass to Cat, but Cat was so shocked he didn't even see it coming. Yeah, I mean, I think the pick and pops will come in this offense. I feel like just right now they're just trying to get everyone into the flow of just like reading and reacting, driving and kicking. So yeah.
And I think they'll get there. I don't have any doubt that they'll get there.
Jalen Brunson was asked about Mike Brown putting some of the blame for Friday night's loss on himself. Mike's going to make the decisions, and no matter what he does, we're going to have his back.
All right, man. A little bit more enthusiasm next time, JB. I know you're going through it a little bit because, you know, your pops is fired, but, like, come on now.
His pops still has a job.
Sorry. I'm talking about Tibbs. I'm thinking about his pops. Yeah.
That pops, yeah.
I mean,
I don't think he cares that much.
I think he cares, but I also think he's just like
He's like, whatever, it's a business. Who cares?
yeah.
But yeah, no. Knicks have this homestand continuing this week. We have the Wizards tomorrow. Probably won't do a post-game show after that, but might, maybe, I don't know. Let's see. We have the Wednesday game against the Timberwolves, who are also 3-3 right now. Little Julius Randle DiVincenzo reunion. There's only one game on Thursday. What the hell?
What the fuck is on Thursday?
I don't know.
That's weird.
There's only one game on Thursday, though. It's Clippers versus Suns at 9.
That's weird. Like, is Thursday Night Football scaring the hoes like that?
I guess so.
Shit.
It really is. And then we have NBA Cup Friday. The Knicks do not play on NBA Cup Friday this week.
I think our next game
After that will be, wow, what the hell?
Sunday.
So we play Monday, Wednesday, and then we play all the way again on Sunday. Interesting spaced out schedule, but I guess we'll be back on Sunday. Next Sunday. Yep. After the Brooklyn Nets game. The Brooklyn Nets are 0-6. I wonder if they will be 0 whatever by the time they play us, and they'll have a little bit of extra motivated
probably
energy to win. Because that's always fun when a team is winless and trying to get that first win. So hopefully it's not against us. But yeah, we'll catch you guys on next Sunday to give you guys the rundown. Haha. Said the name of the show. I'll give you guys the rundown on everything that occurred during the week. Hopefully the Knicks are undefeated throughout this week and we can rejoice and not have to talk about Thibs or any other evil entities out there. But yeah, I think we're gonna end things off here. Once again, shout out to FanDuel for sponsoring the show. One of my favorite apps to use to make extra money. Everyone enjoy your week of Knicks basketball and everything else. And we'll see you next time. Peace.